and welcome to today's Beyond the Apex podcast. It's pre-season testing, it's nearly the start of the Formula 1 season.
We're finally here.
We're finally here, it's been 3 months, but yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
It's so good to say. I mean, the 2024 season is right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say that, it's literally starting tomorrow.
Yep.
But, you know, we're here today to talk about pre-season testing, which happened... When did it happen?
It happened last weekend, so it would have... Yeah.
Because it was in reading week for us.
Yeah, so I could watch literally all of it, luckily.
That was...
Even though we had pre-season testing, there has been so much drama over pre-season. It has been unbelievable. So the first kind of area of this podcast is going to be about kind of the main headlines that happened. And we got the first kind of headline in December.
Yes, we did. And I think it's surrounding Gunther Steiner. The man, the myth himself.
I mean, Netflix were crying when this was announced.
Netflix, hearts broken.
Yeah.
Basically, he's resigned, obviously leaving Haas. So no longer acting as team principal at Haas. Now, what do we think about that?
I think it was a long time coming. I mean, not through Gunther's actions, but through Gene Haas's conduct in the team. He hasn't been investing as much as he could have been. And he needs a scapegoat, and that scapegoat for him is Gunther. I mean, it'll be cool to see whether Okamatsu comes in and actually brings some life into the team, because obviously he's an engineer by background.
I was going to say that, because I watched an interview, I think, and it was bringing him in was the whole idea of bringing that technical side to the forefront of the team.
Yeah.
Because obviously they are the slowest car on the grid.
Yeah.
Bringing the technical side, hopefully we'll see improvements for them.
Absolutely. And look, we've seen that with McLaren as well. Obviously they brought in Andrea Stella, promoting him up from a technical role, and McLaren have been flying, so they're kind of hoping that that's going to come in as well.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I just don't... I mean, it's a shame though, isn't it, to see Gunther...
It is a shame. He was a character. He was a character. I mean, I was lucky enough to meet the guy, and he was so kind, so nice, but yeah.
But I will say though, we did see him return to the paddock in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Not Bahrain.
Yeah, Bahrain.
Oh, Bahrain. Bahrain. I was like, throwing it
with German TV, I think. So good luck on the bleepers on the commentary right there.
Yeah, that person who's got that job, like a bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
Every single time he swears. But
obviously, we then had the unfortunate news: the Andretti bid for 2025-26 has failed. I mean, I don't think there was a single person in F1 that wanted that to fail, apart from FOM themselves. They did leave the door open for a potential 2028 bid. But I think everyone was sad to see that happen.
I think so. I think it came out of the blue as well. I don't think anyone really expected.
No one expected, because obviously it went through the FIA. Everyone had been like, oh, perfect, we're going to get an 11th team. It's going to open 2 more slots for new drivers, because obviously at the moment we've got a problem where there's too many good drivers and not enough seats to fill. And it's just a shame to see that kind of that opportunity for 1 more team principal and 2 more drivers has just gone down the drain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say, Andretti are such a global team.
Oh my God, they're huge.
They're huge. They've got like teams in so many categories. I mean, Formula E, for example.
And then Extremely as well, and they're an IndyCar, and
they're just such a big brand. I think it would bring a lot to Formula 1.
Absolutely, and that was the whole reasoning in the FOM statement, is that they wouldn't bring enough worth to Formula 1, which I don't think anyone understood, because Andretti itself is just such a renowned name in motorsport.
The name is, instead of steak...
Yeah, we're going to get on to that. We'll get on to that. Oh,
but,
God.
Yeah, each their own. But
each their own. But then we had more news that kind of aggravated Formula 1 fans again, is the news that the Madrid Grand Prix has been announced.
Yes.
Which is going to be done around industrial estate.
I'm sorry, but I'm all for Formula E, but is that not giving Formula E?
Oh, it fully is. It fully is.
The Excel.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I've been to the place where it's going to be held, because it was the exact same place where the F1 exhibition was in Spain. I went last year.
Yes.
And look, it's cool and all, but it's not going to be great.
It's not. It's replacing Barcelona.
So I was talking to Lewis, one of our motorsport mates, about this, and he was saying that the wording in the statement is leaving it open to a Barcelona being renewed, and just simply 2 Spanish Grand Prix on the calendar. But it's more than likely looking like Madrid will replace Barcelona, which everyone hates, because now Barcelona is brilliant. It gave great racing this year and last year, and it's like, you don't want it, and everyone wants a Mugello back on the grid, on the calendar. They want a Kyalami on the grid. Bring Africa into this. They want Malaysia back. Yeah. We don't want Madrid.
No, and I think that's true, because we want to see a variety of things rather than, you know, we're seeing 3 US Grand Prix.
Oh,
or something
and
like that.
with the potential rumours that there's going to be a Chicago Grand Prix as well.
There we go. So it's like, it does get a bit mad. Like, why do we need, like, it's like, why don't we bring F1 to Brands Hatch again?
Oh my god, could you imagine? Linking on to what we did today, which is quite fun, but we won't go into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, oh my god, could you imagine Brands? Well, it would be at Monaco, but I don't care. The spectacle would be unbelievable. 20 F1 cars going around Paddock Hill Bend. Oh my lord. But yeah, so more news that aggravated to news that absolutely enlightened F1 fans.
Yes.
That shocked, I think, everyone in Formula One. I mean, I literally woke up to my phone just binging with text messages.
Yeah.
It never happened in my life before.
No.
But I woke up to the news that Lewis Hamilton was joining Ferrari from 2025. I mean,
I don't know where that came. Like, they really just announced it just out of the blue.
yeah, they really
said,
did.
Here we go. There's a piece of information that's insanely mad.
Yeah.
Like, have it on a Tuesday morning or something. You know.
I think it was genuinely just a random Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And it's like I initially thought that silly season was going to be quite boring this year because obviously we thought that because there was so much hype around this silly season, and then it came to January and Lando signed a long-term contract. Charles signed a long-term contract. We were like, oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's like the whole same.
The whole same thing. And then Lewis just goes and bloody joins Ferrari.
I mean, yeah, it's. But the thing is though, right, so the way I'm seeing it, and I think a lot of people see it this way, is that he wants that 8th championship. You know, he wants that so badly. And also, he's getting to the end of his career, potentially. Right, so he's going to want, you know, being in a red car, being with Ferrari, racing with Ferrari is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
It's everyone's dream.
And to be, like, there's been rumours, like, he has been, like, approached several times for his career, obviously not taken up on it because Mercedes have been so strong. But, yeah, I think going to Ferrari is probably a lifelong dream. For
And I think it's a lifelong dream for every F1 fan to just see Lewis in red, driving at the Scarlet Red team. Yeah. I mean, Italy already quite like Lewis.
Yes.
And this is just, I can't wait for Monza this year. Imagine if Lewis gets on the podium with Charles.
Honestly.
Oh, it's just the stuff of dreams. And look, there's been so many rumours flying around about his transfer. The fact that maybe Toto leaked it when he got given the news, because he got given the news literally a day before it was leaked. There was also, I think it's been confirmed that Toto, it's all about Lewis not getting a long-term contract with Mercedes. That's what he wanted. He wanted a 3-year deal to go to the new regulations. And Toto simply wasn't prepared to give it to him because he wanted Andrea, Kimi, Antonelli. And we were going to, obviously I'm an F2 fanatic, I cannot wait to see actually how Kimi does in this year's season.
Which team is he racing with?
He's with Prema, so a brilliant chance for him to actually potentially get a championship. And if he does, that murks his hips. Yes. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But obviously F2 this year is going to be mad. I mean, we've got Ollie Berman, who's definitely going to get a seat in F1 next year.
Yeah.
We've got the likes of Victor Martins, who I think could be a very strong kind of punt for the championship. It's going to be brilliant. It's one of the most competitive F2 fields we've ever had. I mean, it rivals 2018, and look, it's going to be very exciting. But we will go into 2025 predictions later on in the season when silly season goes absolutely mad, like I'm expecting it to.
Yeah.
I mean, if we see the likes of Alonso going to Merck,
my gosh. Stuff of dreams.
Stuff of dreams.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lewis of Ferrari. It's just unreal.
Lewis of Ferrari is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff, really.
Going on to more
we're giving the people watching, we're giving them a roller coaster.
Oh, it is a fully roller coaster.
Up,
down.
And now we're down.
But then in an hour, it's gone back up again.
Yes, it has.
So obviously there's been allegations of Christian Horner of aggressive behaviour towards his colleagues. There was rumours that he was going to have to resign, this, that and the other, from Bernie Ecclestone saying some random stuff like he normally does. But it has been done in the latest hour that those appeals have been the allegations have been dismissed. He will remain as team principal as CEO, and hopefully that will just put it to bed and no one will talk about it again. Because he's now been proven innocent and it's fine.
Exactly, and I think we literally got the news when we were driving to film the podcast, and I think first of all, everyone was reposting when Kim Illman, the photographer.
Oh my god, yeah. His caption was being reposted everywhere, just as breaking news.
Breaking news, like Christian Horner has been seen flying to Bahrain, and it's like, oh, the allegations are not there anymore, and then literally an hour later, it was confirmed.
Yeah, it was confirmed. So, look, I think there was a lot of hate being thrown at Christian Horner's way. Obviously, if the allegations were true, that would have been warranted. But they've been proven. He's been proven innocent now by an independent barrister. No one can question it. So I think the whole F1 community should just move on.
Exactly. I agree. Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Talking of moving on.
We're now going to head into this section where we talk about the team's performances in testing and our predictions later on. Obviously, Sam is going to completely run this podcast. If you do watch our other Formula E videos, then I run that one.
So yeah,
and he carries this one. But yeah, so let's get into the start of the season. Okay, so let's start with Red Bull. Obviously, I mean,
it's looking like another year of domination to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising though, is it?
It's not surprising. I mean, look, we saw a radically different Red Bull that came to testing.
Yeah.
I mean, Adrian knew he is just in his workshop, just drawing these beautiful cars, and just looked at the Mercedes and went, I can fix that.
Let me make that better.
And look, there is rumours that they are going to go to the zero pod design in Japan. Obviously, Japan being way earlier in the calendar this year.
Yeah.
And look, if they can win with a zero pod car, like you can't say anymore. Like they have literally won with the design that lost Merck the last 2 championships.
Yeah.
So it looks rapid. It looks absolutely rapid. There was rumours that he was running very low engine modes. But yeah, it should be. It is. Yeah.
I was gonna say it should be really interesting to see.
I was literally about to say that. Yeah.
And I was thinking. Then I was like, hang on a minute. No. Unfortunately, it's just got to be the same as last year. I think.
Yes, I think worse. I think worse. I genuinely believe, and I'm going to put out a prediction here on the internet.
Yeah.
Red Bull are going to go the first ever season in Formula 1, 100% races won.
Really?
I really do believe so.
To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised.
And you know what? I think I would be surprised if Max hasn't won all of them. Because if we look back at last year...
I don't think... I don't...
If we look back at last year, Checo won Saudi because Max had a car issue.
Yeah.
And he won Baku because of a safety car.
Yeah.
If not for those two, and their lack of pace in Singapore, which was granted, and hopefully this year... Well, not hopefully. Please, God for us, we have a competitive season. But if it weren't for Singapore, Max would have won every race.
Yeah. I know.
And comfortably as well.
Yeah.
And he is just a robot in that car. You compare him to the likes of Haaland in football. He is just a robot. He sits in and he just wins. And I am putting it out that I would be very surprised if anyone else won a race this year.
No, yeah, completely agree with that prediction. Yeah.
I mean, it's sad to say. Yeah. Because I was really hoping to go into the season and be like, McLaren are going to win a race and Lando's going to finally get his first win, and no. If the rumours are true, and apparently there are teams on the grid that are saying Max is going to be 5 tenths ahead, 7 tenths ahead in qualifying in Bahrain, which is normally pretty close. I mean, quality is going to be everything. I mean, obviously this is pre-season, we're just putting out random predictions that we believe, but the quality is going to be the thing. And if Max is that far ahead in quality, we're in for a poor season, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to Mercedes now. Obviously, we talked a little bit about it there, but yeah, didn't look great.
It didn't look great at all. They didn't have a great test. They had lots of car issues, with George especially on the first day. They didn't get much running. And look, they did have a new front wing. Is it intriguing? Yes. Yeah. Is it going to improve the performance? Who knows? We'll have to see. And there was a James Anderson interview that was very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Sam just showed it to me now before the podcast, and he didn't seem...
He didn't. When you use the term, our car is alright, I don't think that's a very good sign. That's when you know that it's not going great. I mean, there's Lando saying the car's crap every weekend, but...
the car is alright.
Yeah, the car is alright, that isn't.
And it was the way he said it as well, he was like...
Yeah, it's like he's trying to force a smile.
Yes.
And look, I think, I was talking about you today.
Yeah.
With that team, all the engineers are wanting to leave. You've got a driver in George Russell who hasn't really showed his potential apart from Brazil 2022. You've got the figurehead of the team leaving. You've got a team that's been so success now no longer getting success. I think we are witnessing the downfall of Mercedes here.
Same.
And look, I really hope that the way they rebound is they focus on the engine regs next year, they focus on the new regs, they bring in Kimi for 2025, let him just bed into that car with no pressure in 2025, no pressure for a championship, and then in 2026 they smash it again.
Yeah.
But is that going to happen? I don't know.
It's tough to say, isn't it?
Yeah, it really
because
is.
you don't know what's going to happen with someone like the likes of Red Bull. Like if they completely dominate again and again and again, it's going to be really hard to compete with that.
Absolutely, but I mean, we were saying this during the Mercedes dominance. I mean, we thought they were just going to carry on dominating.
Yeah.
I mean, Lewis's move to Ferrari, he must have seen something good in that engine for 2026. Yeah. So who knows? We could have Ferrari dominance. I doubt it, but I doubt it. But yeah, I mean, it's not looking good for them. I think they are going to be fighting at the lower end of the top teams. Obviously, we'll go into our predictions later, but yeah, it's not looking good. But onto a team that's actually looking quite strong is Ferrari.
Yes.
I mean, they have brought in a lot of good engineers from both Red Bull and Mercedes.
Yeah.
They've come up with a solid car, just got on with their tests like they normally do.
Yeah.
And they look quite strong. Whether it's going to be enough to fight Red Bull, who knows? But it looks good.
I mean, that's a tough thing to be, isn't it?
Oh god, yeah.
Being on the same pace as Red Bull, but yeah, you are right. Like they do seem to be maybe the second fastest car.
Absolutely, I agree. And look, I hope that maybe the likes of McLaren can beat them. Let's go on to McLaren.
Yeah.
Look,
well, just first of all, like Ferrari. Before we do that,
talk
about the amount of laps and stuff that
they were the 2 highest laps in pre-season tests. They just had There is something about Ferrari in the whole season. In races, they are hectic as hell. Yeah. But in pre-season testing, they are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, they're just like
they get laps.
So Sainz did 224.
224, and Leclerc with 192 laps.
Like hello.
That's 8 Grand Prix over 3 days.
Yeah.
That is some incredible data that's going to go back to Maranello.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be exciting no matter what to see how the likes of Ferrari and McLaren and maybe even possibly Aston Martin and Merc come in. I mean, the battle for second, I think this year is going to be spectacular.
I think if we just kind of forget about Red Bull for a whole
I think just forget about Max. I think Checo is going to be in the midfield.
Oh, I think so too. But I mean, in teams.
Yeah. In teams. Yeah. Let's forget about Red Bull. Yeah. Max is going to like double the points of Merc, and it's just going to be like whatever.
But that
battle is going to be very interesting. And obviously, look at someone who's embedded themselves in that battle now. What seems to be is McLaren.
Yes.
I mean, we ended the team. They ended it. We ended the team. We ended the season so well, so strong, and. Look, we always have bad tests.
Yeah.
Like 2021, I remember that test being horrific. 2022 was awful. And look, we had a better test in recent years. However, it still wasn't kind of living up to the expectations that many F1 fans had. Obviously, we've got some upgrades coming in like a month and a half's time, I think. And for not Baku, but the next European race. So hopefully, fingers crossed, those improve pace like the Silverstone ones did.
Yeah.
But look, it was just an okay test. It was an okay test. We got some laps in. We don't have any serious car malfunctions like we did with the brakes last year and God knows. It was a solid test, and I think we will be kind of pushing the likes of Ferrari.
No, I agree. I absolutely. It'll be good to see as well.
Oh my god,
especially for you.
Yeah. Well, says the one with a McLaren football t-shirt right now.
That Lando win.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming. I may be 40, but it's going to come.
Oh god, not 40.
We'll
move on to Aston Martin now. Obviously, they're still. I reckon they are in the fight for second.
Absolutely, I think they are, and especially with Alonso, whether they are with Stroll or not, who knows? Yeah. But they are definitely still in that fight. However, they definitely haven't got as much hype as they did last year. No. I remember us in the last year's podcast just absolutely going mental for Alonso.
No, we were like, oh my god, they're going to be like against Red Bull.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And to be fair, they were for the start of the season, and then apparently they just forgot how to build a car. So, but look, they look to be on the lower end of the top teams, as you said. So hopefully they should be there somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But absolutely.
But going on to Alpine. Poor test from them. I mean, they look slow, sluggish. Their car's overweight. I mean, their engine's awful. Yeah. I mean, it's not looking like a good season coming up for Alpine.
No.
And look, I think what's really carrying them is their driver lineup right now. I think if they had a driver lineup like Haas or like Alfa Romeo, Stake, they would be down in possibly last.
I think. Yeah, the driver lineup. What we said it. I think. Where did we say it? We said it some previously in the podcast where Alpine are probably one of the teams that's got drivers that are
my God.
similar.
They are.
Like they're both top drivers.
Yeah.
I think that's what we were saying.
Yes.
And that, like, that's the only thing we've got going for them.
It's kind of as equal as the lineup of Ferrari.
Yes.
In terms of points, Charles and Carlos are always tight on points, and we saw that last year again, as you said with Alpine. They were so tight on points. They were always there. You could never kind of predict who was going to out-qualify them, out-qualify each other. It was very, very close, and look, that is carrying that team, and they need to hit 2024 running. Otherwise, I could genuinely see the likes of Andretti buying the team.
Oh, same. Well, to be honest, now you've said that, I do see that happening if it will
because look, they are French funded. That is their thing, and if they are, if a works engine manufacturer is not able to make a good team, make a good engine, that team will not do well.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Definitely.
And look, this season's going to be very telling, I think.
I think so. No, I agree. Okay, so we'll move on to Williams now. Obviously, it was a good test.
It was a very solid test for them. Obviously, they've brought lots of upgrades, and Albon and Sargent are happy with the car. Look, they're saying that it's very, very different to drive. I think Albon even said that he's going to have to rewrite his driving style. However, it's aiming to be more consistent on the majority of tracks rather than just the kind of. They used the word peaky. The car was very peaky last year.
Right.
Being like Canada was very quick. Zandvoort for some reason was very quick, even though no one understood that. And Silverstone was very quick, but there was races where they were at the back and they're just trying to make the car not like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It'd be interesting to see where they sit, because I feel like we've always seen them quite far down the grid.
Yes.
But I don't know whether, like what we've been told by, like you said, Sargent and Albon, saying it's driving differently, but is differently good.
That's the main question.
Yeah.
And it's I just. Do you know what? I believe in James Vowles. I believe in James Vowles. I love him as a team principal.
Same.
He is going to take over Toto's job in the future, and he is going to take Merck to success again. But look, I love James Vowles. He is taking that team to a place where it should be. I mean, Williams is such a historic brand, well, a historic team, and look, we want to see them back fighting at the front, and James Vowles is the man to do that.
I couldn't agree more. Agree more. Right, we'll go on to Racing Bulls. Don't like the way
Visa Cash App RB, Malarkey. Malarkey, whatever it is, V-Car, but we're going to go V. They're Racing Bulls. They're Racing Bulls on company terms. We're calling them Racing Bulls. Yeah, but, well, despite the name, very, very good test.
Yeah.
Very good test indeed. They look very strong. People are, these are the Racing Bulls this year are the Aston Martin of last year, I think. They're not going to be up there in second, obviously, but they are going to be fighting with the likes of Merck, I think.
Yes.
And especially with Ricciardo back in the car and etc. They're trying to make that team a team in its own right.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be really interesting to see, like you said, with Danny Rick. Having him back in the car, we had the whole issue of, like, obviously Nick de Vries going midway through the year, Danny Rick coming in, then not. What he didn't do some races, didn't he? Because
he broke his wrist, and then he came back, and then he just stuck at P4 in Mexico, and then was just like
everyone was like, "Oh my God, mad!" And then it just went.
And then went back down again. So it's going to be very interesting. And look, I think you haven't watched Drive to Survive yet, have you?
I watched one episode.
Yeah, so the second episode is all about Nick de Vries and they got so much footage of the Danny Rick test in Silverstone. It was unreal. They got the moment that Christian Horner said to Daniel that he was going to take Nick's seat.
Way.
It was like behind the scenes, like I've never seen
Netflix
before.
really went sneaky.
Yeah, they really did. And do you know what? I'm just going to say it. Netflix smashed it with Drive to Survive this year. I'm not going to lie, they absolutely smashed it. They've taken it. They've tried to minimise the Drive to Survivingness of it, and actually made it so that F1 fans can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Very, very good season. But we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be very interesting to. And do you know what? I'm going to say something very controversial. I think Yuki's going to beat Ricciardo this year.
Really?
I really do. I think with the enticement of the Red Bull seat and also a potential Aston seat, which is actually where I think Yuki's going to go, I genuinely do believe that it's going to spark new life into him. And especially with that fight of Danny Rick, I think Yuki's going to do very well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, because I don't know what to think with Danny Rick, especially like I said from last year. Coming into this year, I don't know. Yuki's just a bit mad.
Yeah.
Like you said, like with that little, like, he's dangling a carrot of a Red Bull seat and he's just going to go for it.
He's just going to, and in the traditional Yuki way, he's just going to send it into a corner and then he's going to spin out and he's going to swear.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm looking forward to Yuki this year. I think he is going to be the shock of this year.
Yeah.
I think genuinely like a top 10 in the drivers, I think. Really, I really do.
I think so.
But onto a team that's not going to be even... I wouldn't say top 10 in the constructors.
Yeah.
Stake, Kick, Sauber, F1 team, Malarkey again.
That Malarkey.
Look, I don't like the name. I don't like the livery. I don't like the performance.
It's very okay.
but that will completely switch if they sign Taylor Share. I will become fully Stake, Kick, Sauber Formula 1 team. But at the moment, for now, look, I think it's going to be. We said it a lot last year. They were just under delivering, especially with the likes of Audi coming in 2026, which has been kind of rumours that it's not going to happen anymore. I really hope it does. But look, I don't think it's going to be a very good year for them at all.
No, I don't think so. And like you said, the livery, it's very bold.
It's very bold, if that's the only word you can use. I wouldn't say.
I mean, that's what you put here. We should put it in bold.
Yeah, it really should be, because it's very bold. Is it good?
Do you know what it is? It's a B-Tech version of Envision.
Oh, it really is. Yeah.
You know, like if you're going to go for that, go full out.
Go full out.
Don't go a little bit black and that as well.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I mean, people, the memes over pre-season were flying with the flow vids with people saying, "Oh, Stake 8 McLaren" or whatever. But it's not a great look. I mean, it's going to be very punchy on the grid. You'll be able to spot them.
That's true. No,
but I mean, look, they did the classic thing that AlphaTauri always did every year, and they just went, stick a good time on the green. So I mean, it's P3 in pre-season testing. Are they there? Absolutely bloody not. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a good year.
No, it isn't. But talking about not a good year.
Talking about a horrible year, Haas. They got loads of laps, but they weren't quick.
No.
I mean, if we're looking at here, how far off was Hulkenberg? It was 1.3. I think that was their best time of the thing. But they were consistently very, very slow.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can't really into pre-season testing times, but even Komatsu have said, don't look at us basically in the first few races, because we are going to be at the back.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably just going to be a test for them, isn't it?
Yeah, fully. I mean, we had it in 2021 where they basically said, don't look at us the entire season because we are going to be slow, and I genuinely think that is what they're going to be like this season.
No, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised. I would put them, and talking about predictions, I will put them at the back. But
but right, okay. Speaking about that, let's go on to predictions.
Right, so let's go on to predictions. Like we've been saying, 2024 predictions. Right,
so I think we should both go for our first so we're going to go through constructors first. So you've got
Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? We've been hyping them up the whole podcast, and now we think they're going to get first in constructors.
Let me just change that answer. Haas.
If that's bold. Yeah. But look, I mean, I put my house on it, plain and simple.
You haven't got a house.
I'll put my
leasehold on it.
Yeah, put my leasehold on it. But look, I think that's the only place where we. Oh no, it's not. We agree on some other places. But let's go on to second.
Okay, second constructor.
I think Ferrari are going to be second in the constructors this year. I think Sainz is going to breathe. He's going to go for one final hurrah with Ferrari, and I think he's going to have a very good year. Closer to Leclerc. Obviously, he was in points. He was close to Leclerc last year, but he wasn't. Yeah. Wasn't close at all. But I think he is going to be closer, and I think Ferrari are going to grab onto that second.
Okay. I think McLaren, because I was going to put Ferrari and I had to put something different.
But look, I think genuinely with the upgrades, it is going to be close with Ferrari and McLaren. I think that second place fight is going to be between them. I think Merc are going to be just too far off.
What I'm hoping to see is what happened at Silverstone. You know, like when they come in with the improvements, and they actually do really well, because they've got two drivers that are they've got two drivers that are so strong. I don't know. I just really think we're going to see potential from both.
So do I. I mean, we were talking about close driver pairings.
Yes.
Lando and Oscar are probably actually the closest on the grid. I mean. Oscar is genuinely going to be pushing Lando to a new height this year, and I'm excited to see that Lando.
Yeah.
Because Lando will try and up his game.
Yes.
And it will be very exciting.
It will.
On to third, we basically just want them. So I think McLaren's going to be third.
I think Ferrari.
Yeah. So it is going to be that second place fight is going to be between Ferrari and McLaren. I think that's pretty clear. I mean, we say this and then it's going to be Aston in first.
That's true. But
and in fifth.
Mercedes.
Fourth. So fourth.
Mercedes.
So fourth, we both got Mercedes.
We agreed on that one. I think we've said a lot about it, in terms of testing and what they brought, and then But
I would say, if Aston Martin had a driver closer to Alonso, I think they'd be above.
Same. I was going to say same.
Yeah.
Because I only put them there on the basis that I just don't think Aston Martin are going to get there with the improvements at the start of the season. From things I've heard across the grapevine, is that they're like, they're just not happy with the way the car is dealing, aerodynamically.
Yeah,
and like,
I mean, we saw that at the end of last season as well. They brought upgrades and they weren't happy with them. They spent the rest of the year kind of trying to work out those upgrades. I think we're going to have something similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see Aston Martin up there again because it was great to see at the start of last season. But it is, I think it's going to be fifth Aston Martin.
Yeah, so we said fifth Aston Martin. So sixth.
This is where we heavily disagree. I think Racing Bulls is going to be sixth.
Well, but the reason why I put Alpine was because I was going to put Racing Bulls. So basically, Sam did his first, and I had to switch up. So now I'm going to have to. You're making me justify every single decision.
Thing is though, yours is going to be right at the end of the day. But look, it's going to be very close again. I think Racing Bulls is going to be kind of where Alpine was last year. And I think that kind of fight for what is that sixth. Is going to be very interesting. It could go anyway. I think genuinely it could be Williams up top.
Yeah.
Genuinely it could be Williams.
If they get a handle of the car.
Yeah, and the same as if Alpine somehow get a hold of that engine. Obviously they can only bring reliability upgrades, but of course reliability upgrades improve performance. So they could then get up to that sixth position. I mean they'll be devastated with sixth. But I think it's the best they're going to get at the moment. And then we've kind of agreed at the bottom of the thing. We've both.
Wait, why Alpine?
Oh yeah. Yes, no, that's meant to be Stake, I guess.
That's meant to be Stake,
So we both think Stake and Haas are going to be at the bottom of the grid. I think they're going to be ninth. Obviously, I think Racing Bulls, Williams, Alpine. You think Alpine, Racing Bulls. Oh, Stake. Okay. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Wait, no, but
Yeah.
I'll say
and then we've both got Haas in one.
Yeah, Haas.
That's going to be pretty clear.
I was going to say that's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest.
Yeah, I really do. I just think that team, especially they've got to get a hold on their tyre wear because they were great in qualifying. Well, great in qualifying last year, but their tyre wear, they were just useless in the race. And I think if they don't get a grip on that, it's going to be very
get a grip.
Traction. Degree. It's going to be a very difficult season.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Let's move on to drivers now. So we're going to say top 5 drivers?
Yes, I think that's fair because then it becomes chaotic after that. And,
This is chaotic enough, to be honest.
It really is. So, first, I think Lando Norris is going to win the world. No.
First, I think Kevin Magnussen is going to win.
No, even though we've both got on LinkedIn now, so go K-Mag.
Go K-Mag.
Yeah. But, I think, it's clear that Max is going to win. I would put my house on it.
No way.
Yeah, no.
No, you put your least hold on it.
Yeah, I'll put my least hold on it.
You're what, 3-4 months left of your
No, I put the new one on it.
That's it.
But no, it's pretty clear that Max is going to be champion. I don't think there's any doubt with that. And this is where we all disagree. So you think
Perez,
which is a very strong shout to be fair, because if the Red Bull is as dominant as we think it's going to be, if Checo isn't second, he's let himself down.
I was going to say that. If Checo isn't second, Red Bull are going to have.
Oh, he's gone. Well. He's gone. Plain simple. If he's not second, he's gone. I think I read a tweet from Helmut Marko, which basically means a quote from Helmut Marko, which means it's completely false. But Checo has only got a chance if he gets second.
Yes.
So I did see that. It's Helmut Marko. Believe what you want. But I think Charles Leclerc is going to be second in the drivers this year. I think Ferrari are going to have a strong enough car to give him that kind of push for second place. But in third, I think it's going to be very close with Lando Norris. I think he's going to have a spectacular season. He's going to get poles. Is he going to get a win? I don't think so. I really hope he does. But I don't think he's going to get his first win. But I think he's going to be very close to Leclerc.
I agree, and hence why I put next. Third is Leclerc, and then fourth Norris. I really don't know, but I just do think Leclerc is going to have that edge on Norris.
Yes, I think over a season, Leclerc is more world champion quality than Lando at this point. He has had more chances. He's obviously a race winner. He's had these chances, and look, I think he will have an edge over the season. But then I've obviously put Checo. I think that kind of battle for second is going to be very close between them. And then I put Piastri. I think it's going to be between Piastri and Sainz. And I think Piastri will actually kind of have that edge. Oh, look who's changing their predictions now.
I forgot he existed.
Oh. And you've gone for?
Well, I went for Russell, and then I forgot. And then I was like, wait, Mercedes, no.
No.
And then also Sam just said Sainz, and I forgot Sainz existed for 1 minute there.
Look, it's going to be close for P5 between Sainz and Piastri, I think. It's going to be like last season where on the last race it's going to be decided.
Yeah,
I think it's not going to be.
But I think that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely, just ignore Max.
Yeah.
Ignore Max, and this season is going to be unbelievable.
It is.
It's going to be the best season we've ever had. It's going to be like a 6-way drivers' championship, and I cannot wait.
And that is the best way to end the podcast. No.
Yes. But look, Max is going to win by, I think, 400 points.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Like you said, I would not be surprised if he gets 100% race wins and
Yeah, but I think that he's only going to win by that margin because the likes of Leclerc, Norris, Checo, and possibly Piastri are just going to be taking points off each other.
Yeah,
so they're going to be stumbling on each other, and Max is just going to fly away.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, there's our predictions.
This season's going to be boring. We should know. Yeah, but no, it's going to be a good season. We are both very excited for it.
Definitely.
And yeah, it's going to be fun, no matter what.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see you this weekend.
Yes.
In Bahrain.